Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Politics Now. We're talking about modern politics in modern America. And today, we're going to be looking at what a potential 2024 presidential election map might look like. So, yeah, let's get into that. So, we're going off the assumption that Trump is the nominee, which, given the fact that he's well up in the polls, he's probably going to be the nominee. And Biden, he doesn't really have any serious competition, so he'll probably also be the nominee. So, let's just get into it. So, we got all of the states filled out that are likely safe, and there's North California, Colorado, there's North Colorado, there's North Carolina, and yeah, I don't really see that going anywhere other than red, and it's still going to be a tougher fight to win, but it's still in the same place at around Minnesota level where, yeah, it does have the chance of turning blue, but yeah, given the fact that it's such a tight race, I don't really see it going that way. So, yeah, let's just get into the swing states where we have Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. These are the states that we need to focus on. And these are the real states that the candidates need to focus on because if you are going to win, you need these states. And they could flip either way. And you need to win these states to win the presidency because if you ignore these states and don't focus on them, you are going to lose. So let's just see how the candidates stack up in these states. So, first of all, you got Wisconsin. Now, Wisconsin, I'm going to have to put in the Republican column. Wisconsin has been trending towards the right a lot more ever since about about 2016. Trump does there Trump does way better there than Biden does, and given the fact that Wisconsin has been trending more to the right and the fact that Trump still has that Midwestern Rust Belt appeal, he could probably win Wisconsin, and Wisconsin is probably more Republican state out of all these swing states, and he is the most likely to win Wisconsin out of all of these states. And Wisconsin, you still have those trends. You have that white working class, which Trump has a stranglehold over, and Trump should have a fairly easy shot compared to the rest of these states at winning Wisconsin. So Wisconsin goes in the Republican column. And now we got Michigan. Now, Michigan is a weird case because normally, if it was just Joe Biden and Trump, and Joe Biden had relatively decent polling numbers, yeah, it would probably go blue. But given the fact that there are so many things working against Biden, and Trump still has proven that he can win Michigan, and even in 2020, where he didn't do necessarily well, he also kind of made it very close. He was within 3 points, and that was the same place that Nevada is, and Nevada is also a swing state. So, given the fact that he can make it even closer, and it is going to be a lot closer this time, and looking at the polls for the popularity vote and just the general election, Biden is not doing that well. Biden has only been saved in recent times due to a Yahoo News poll that has him up 6 points. And once that's taken out of all the spread is going to go for Trump. And it's going to go for Trump by 1 or 2 points, which, given the fact that Trump never does well in the polls, he didn't do well in 2020, he didn't do well in 2016, given the fact that he's making it a tough time for Biden, and you also have the third parties, this is going to be a major problem for Biden because those third parties, the Greens and the no labels, they both lean to the left, and they are going to take away a lot of Democrat voters who would vote for Biden, but are going to vote third party instead because the Greens, they're pulling out with a pretty popular candidate. The no labels, they're also doing pretty good. And in terms of the libertarians, who are the main detractors from the Republicans, they're not exactly putting out their best, and their main candidate that they're pushing out, he's not really polling that well. Compared to other years, libertarians are not doing that well. And if you include the third parties in Michigan's polling, Trump is actually beating Biden by 2 points. So, just given the general trends and the fact that Biden hasn't been doing too well in the polls recently, and just his unpopularity, I think Trump has a narrow victory there. I'm talking like 2000s Florida victory. It's going to be by less than 1,000 votes to actually win Michigan. But I think Trump could narrowly edge it out and win. So, yeah. Now we got Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is kind of a weird case where Trump has a lot of appeal there, but they also vote for people like John Fetterman, and that's really going to hurt Trump because they still have the opportunity to vote in uh, Democrats that aren't exactly, mentally fit or even moderate. And Biden is definitely going to be trying to play on that Delaware closeness to Pennsylvania, and he's going to try and get regional appeal, which he doesn't really have any regional appeal in Pennsylvania. It worked in 2020, but I just don't think that it will work in 2024. And given the fact that Trump has a lot more sway over voters there, and he still has that giant base of voters who are likely to vote for him, he does have a lot more advantages in Pennsylvania when it comes to winning Pennsylvania than Biden, because Biden, he's pretty much used up all of his advantages, and Trump has all of the advantages compared to Biden. And Pennsylvania, I think it might be a very narrow victory, probably more narrow than Wisconsin, but I still think it might go Trump's way. And that's just given the fact that Trump has that Rust Belt appeal, and Biden, his Delaware homeland is not really gonna change much because it doesn't really work anymore, and it's probably not going to work because, you know, Delaware and Pennsylvania, they weren't even that similar in the first place. And given the fact that Biden isn't very well liked there and just isn't well liked at all, I don't really think that Democrats are going to have a chance at winning Pennsylvania in 2024. Maybe in the future, but not right now. So, next we got Georgia. Georgia, just given the trends there, I I have a vain hope that Trump might be able to win it, just given the fact that the black vote for Democrats have gone down quite a bit, and that's pretty much the only thing that won Biden Georgia in 2020 was the demographic shift. But yeah, I just don't really think that Trump can win it. He just has to deal with so many trends, and the Atlanta suburbs are really going to bite him in the ass. And just given that, I think I'm going to have to put it for the Democrats. And after this, if the trends continue for Atlanta, it's Georgia's going to be far gone. It's going to be another Minnesota or another Colorado because yeah, the center city just basically controls the entire state. And if that continues, you're not going to see a Republican Georgia in quite a while. Unless something major happens, then yeah, it's not going to go too well. Arizona is another one of those cases. Arizona used to be a pretty likely red state in 2016, and just a ton of factors have completely changed it. You have a lot of immigration there, demographic shifts, a lot of Californians who vote liberal. They're moving there. Colorado, they're also moving there. And yeah, it's really just completely changing the landscape of Arizona. And yeah, they might get a Senate seat there. They might flip that independent Senate seat, but yeah, I don't really see Trump winning Arizona in the general election. He might, but it's not very likely, so I'm just going to put it in the Democrat column. And finally, we have Nevada. Nevada, I'm going to put as Republican because, yeah, it does have the same California shifts as Arizona, but it has them in a different way, as in Republicans from California, from the north, are moving into Nevada to sort of escape California, and a lot of those Republican voters are moving to places like Florida, Texas, and a lot of them, especially, are moving to places like Nevada. Now, Nevada, it's right next to California, it's not as liberal, and it's been moving farther and farther to the right over the past few years. So, I think Trump might have the chance of flipping it, but it's still going to be a tough fight. All of these are going to be a tough fight to win, but I think Nevada will flip to the right, maybe a couple of votes under Wisconsin's margin because it's sort of second place with how far it's moved to the right. Wisconsin has moved to the right a lot more. So, yeah, that's the final tally 285 to 253. Trump doesn't have a major victory, but he does have a victory nonetheless. And the popular vote would be up for grabs. So, if he can win that, he's going to have a much easier time at winning places like Arizona and Georgia, and hell, even Michigan. So, yeah, if you think Biden will win the general election in 2024, leave that in the comments below. If you think Trump will win, leave it in the comments below. And yeah, I'll be checking the comments to see your predictions. Bye.